Hello everybody, welcome back. This is my July music wrap-up video. This is where I talk about what I've been listening to the past month, what I've listened to for the first time, just kind of what I've been spinning on my CD player, my turntable. So let me just jump right into it here. I'm going to start by saying throughout the month of July, I listened to 71 total albums. These are albums that I've listened to for the first time, albums that I've already listened to earlier in the year. I consider, one complete cycle of a disc or a record as a listen. So 71 albums. Again, I work at home, so I get to listen to a lot of music while I'm working. And so let me jump in to the top albums that I've listened to this year. This past month. So I'm just going to do my top 3 albums that I've listened to the most of. And again, the only one that I'm really going to talk about, like the one that I've listened to the most, I'm going to kind of give like a value to, or even not even, just what I'm trying to say is I'm not going to say like how many times I've listened to each record, but these are the ones that I've listened to the most. So for most listened to albums, the Dr. John Mac Rebenek. This is his album In a Sentimental Mood. Came out in 1989, where he does all of the standard covers. Great version of Accentuate the Positive, Making Whoopee, Candy, In a Sentimental Mood, Love for Sale. So really great stuff. I love this album. Dr. John, great voice. Next, I listened to this album a lot, partly because I had a video a couple weeks ago with my friends Josh over at JC The Flip Side and Rich Strickler. Of course, this is a Born to Run. We rank the songs on our ongoing classic albums series on Rich's channel. Everybody, please go subscribe to Rich. Let's get him up to 450 subscribers. So Born to Run, I've listened to a few times, and then just blowing the others out of the water. I think just like last month is Lavender Days by Camp. Absolutely am loving this album so much. I wish they were coming closer. I'd go see them live, but they're not. The closest they are is about 5 or 6 hours away, and I can't do it. But just great banjo, songwriting, smoky voice, kind of like Rod Stewart. Lavender Days. Lavender Days. And now the most listened to artists in the month of July. I've picked up a lot of Eagles albums, so I've been listening to a lot of the Eagles this past month. Really enjoying digging into their catalog. Hopefully at some point Rich Strickler and I are going to be doing an Eagles video once I'm accustomed to all of their albums. So Eagles. Next, again, I listen to a lot of jazz in the morning. So last month, Miles Davis led the charge with my jazz listening. Not necessarily this album, but just Miles in general. Absolutely love Miles. I can't get enough of him. And I pick up his stuff every time I see it. So, Miles Davis. And then, big surprise, Camp. Listen to them the most of any other artist this month. I can't recommend this album enough. Check it out. Alright, let me jump into albums that I've given a spin for the very first time. Now, I am counting albums that are not new albums, so these have to be albums that at least have a year behind them. So again, I mentioned in my last video the newest album by She and Him. I'm not going to talk about this record because it's new, and of course it was my first time listen. So these are albums that are a year old or more that I'm just now getting around to listening to. And to start, I'm just going to jump right into the Eagles. Again, I'm really listening to their catalog, so I've listened to the Eagles self-titled for the first time all the way through. Listened to Desperado all the way through for the first time. Listened to One of These Nights by the Eagles. Again, all fantastic albums. And then the reunion album, Hell Freezes Over, which when I was a kid, I remember my parents had this album in the basement, and I thought it was terrible if they had an album with the word hell on it. So I never fully understood it, but four new tracks on here, and then some live cuts as well. Lastly, for my CDs, I picked up a couple of Van Morrison albums that I've never listened to. No, I've never listened to. The first is Van Morrison at the Movies. This is a compilation with some alternate versions of a few of the songs. He does a an updated version of Brown Eyed Girl, which is much better than the original, I think. And then I guess the weird part of it is that they end it with Comfortably Numb with Roger Waters for the Roger Waters Wall concert that he did in Berlin in the 90s. And it's mostly Roger Waters, and Van Morrison comes in with kind of the chorus of, there is no pain, you are receding. So it's kind of weird that you get Van for 18 songs and then number 19, all of a sudden you're listening to Pink Floyd. But anyway, still a pretty cool comp at the movies. And then also got Live at the Grand Opera House in Belfast. This is Van pushing a lot of his music from the 80s, especially like Inarticulate Speech of the Heart, Common One, and Beautiful Vision. So it's mostly 80s songs. So really, really good if you like the 80s Van Morrison. All right, now the actual LPs, vinyl LPs. The first is, and I think I might have forgotten to show this on my recent finds. This is the debut Townes Van Zandt album. This is the reissue that came out in 2007. You have some great songs on here, like For the Sake of the Song, Waiting Around to Die, Colorado Girl, Lungs, I'll Be Here in the Morning, Quicksilver. Just really, really good stuff. If you like singer-songwriter, country, outlaw, check it out. Townes Van Zandt. Next, I can thank my good buddy Aaron Mutha Alamayer for sending me this. This is Washington Square Serenade by Steve Earl. This is the reissue that came out in 2021. Originally, it was done in 2007. I know this is my friend Glenn's favorite Steve Earle album and Aaron's as well. So thank you, Aaron, for sending that to me. I really enjoyed it. Aaron also sent me The Scarecrow by John Mellencamp. A lot of people consider this Mellencamp's crowning achievement. This was kind of his transition to becoming a true blue, take me seriously songwriter. He's dropping the cougar out of his name, which was not his name at all. And you had some big hits on here, like like Random Scarecrow, but you also had Small Town and ROCK in the USA. So, but some great deep cuts in there as well. So thanks again, Aaron. And I also spun the first Paul Simon record, which I've never really listened. I've listened to it, I think, once before, but never seriously. So I was happy to actually spin this for real. And you have, Mother and Child Reunion, Duncan, Run That Body Down, Armistice Day, Me and Julio. Just really great stuff. Hobo's Blues, Paul Simon's true debut, if you don't count the Paul Simon songbook. I also spun the new Abbey Road Half Speed of A Quick One by The Who. Really like this album a lot. I need to spin it some more, but you have, Boris the Spider, Don't Look Away, A Quick One While He's Away. Just really good stuff. It's The Who, full-on power pop, but also with the hint of what was to come on Tommy. So really cool record. I listened to the second album by Hermits, which I showed extensively in my last video. You have essentially greatest hits. You have songs like Silhouettes is on here, Heartbeat, Traveling Lights. You have Henry VIII, Can't You Hear My Heart? The End of the World. Really, really good stuff. I love Hermits. Next, I've heard people like Matthew Street, Tommy Burton talk about this album, Get the Knack. It's very, very good. I think Randy Nelson too. Really, really good power pop. Kind of some questionable lyrics in some of the songs, but really solid band. It's a shame that they'll never play again because of the passing of members. But just solid power pop from the 70s. 70s, right? 79, yeah. And then lastly, I really enjoyed this too. This was Abracadabra by the Steve Miller Band. I really only knew the one song, but this was cheap and it was super clean vinyl. This was from 1982. So Steve Miller Band, Abracadabra. Really, really enjoyed it. So there you go. Those are my first time spins for the month of July. I am currently already in August and am keeping track of what I've listened to so far this month. So stay tuned for this series later on in about a month. And in the meantime, y'all be good. Take care. And I'll talk to y'all real soon. Bye now.